Hey, welcome back to Geekshow Arcade. Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
that's us.
Yeah. This is Geekshow Arcade, where we talk about video games and video game related things. Let's kick it off by introducing our panelists. Owen has something to say. Hey,
I
Owen.
have something to say. We need to change your intro to playing games and taking names. I'm just full of catchphrases today. We were talking about that in the in-between. Anyway.
That one's not great.
Taking names and playing games.
Chicken dips and
That's me. That's me this week. Taking names and playing games. My name's Owen.
Boy, you're really digging in.
Yeah, I
He
really
has
like it.
Planted
I like
his flag on that hill.
I like the way it feels. I'm gonna say it probably a
It's-
couple more times.
No, it
Taking
feels
names,
pretty
taking names.
cliche.
Yeah, it does. It feels good. Taking names, playing games, playing names, taking games.
All right, he's
All
our
right, anyway.
resident naysayer. He's Jaren.
Hi, I'm Jaren.
Nailed it.
Bringing that Jaren energy.
That's good. He's our resident
Thank you, James.
James. He's
Hey, guys.
James.
A wild
guys.
James has appeared.
So a couple of things
Look
I
at
want to
that.
show you. One, my favorite kind of pen, Pilot G2, before Tony cuts me off.
Why do you like Pilot G2s?
Why did you just
Like,
knock your microphone over? What is the matter with you? He unplugged it. It auto muted him. I didn't even have to do it. And if you tap your microphone again with your pens, that's it.
You're through.
You're done. All right. Well, that's James.
And we have a host. His name's
hey,
Tony.
Thanks, guys. Hey, check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony or on other Geek Show podcasts. James is right there.
Did you guys
Smack
ever have?
There we go. Got my
Tony.
plug
Tony,
back
did
in.
you
There you
guys ever
go.
have pen? Did you guys ever had pen disputes on your mission? Like, did you ever have to did you ever say, "Oh, you're a G2 guy" instead of what was the other one?
It doesn't
to
matter.
Honduras.
There's only Pilot G2, and
were
I even
just
got a
lucky to
special
have-
housing.
We were just lucky to have pens. So
Trying to find the brand. I can't remember the brand we used, but there was a big.
it was in the past. I've noticed this wasn't on my mission, but it was Pilot versus Uniball. Was usually what it was.
I'll find it and blurt it out and cut somebody off later. So it's fine.
Sounds good.
I was a pilot bro myself.
Once I found the G2, that's what I prefer to use, except for it smears. If you
Well,
don't
yeah,
let
if you
it
go with the
fully
Pilot
dry.
G2 5, that's why you go with the Pilot G2 7. And there has been a usurper of this pen.
The 7 smears. The 5 doesn't.
You are
'Cause
incorrect.
The 7's a bigger ball,
Nope,
so it
that's
puts
a
out more
5.
ink.
You're talking
Oh,
about
really?
5.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Oh, do you want to put money on it?
No,
I'll bet you I have something to
Nobody cares-
win.
Nobody cares that much.
Boy.
You know what? I'm going to accept your answer and then look it up later.
There is a usurper, though.
Oh,
Pilot came out with a V7.
does it not smear?
No, it's a 7, so it's not a 5, Tony. Come on. And it is just amazing. It's the best pen.
Oh, here it
knows
is. It's the Parker. I was a Parker man.
Oh, Parker. That's
Parker
what I
makes-
was. Yes,
Parker makes
Parker.
good pens,
Parker
yeah.
was the thing. It
Yes,
like
I
and then
love
and then the
Parker.
G2 came out of nowhere and started being like, I'm cool too, and everybody's like, dude, you're not though.
For a while there, Zebra
Parker.
Zebra
Zebra.
pens were quite
Yeah,
good.
Zebra
Those-
were
Yeah, I
pretty
forgot
I mean
about
they
Zebra.
still are, but
They're good for non-gel, just
yeah,
regular ink.
Yeah, yep.
But
Pilot G25
Parker's had the
G205
perfect weight ratio.
versus 07. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that it's that order. I think the 7 has a bigger ball.
Yeah, I just don't know who Pilot
Are-
thinks they
are-
are. They've been making pens for so long. They didn't even come out with some flashy.
Guys,
and
are we
I was
going to
a-
talk about video games or what?
You gotta know how to,
Is that what we're here to do?
that's we're here. Do we have any emails?
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Oh,
wait a
okay.
minute. Okay.
What? Email.
All right. I think you guys are going to like this one. This is from Argo Spartan. That's what I discovered
Hey.
the Spartan is about. Subject, Jaren is wrong.
Oh,
I like,
here we go.
Lando is missing out. Oh,
Yeah, man.
where are you, Lando?
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Whew.
Hey, fellow gamers. Jaren, you're entitled to your opinion on Cortana from Halo, but unfortunately you're wrong. It does
She's
highlight.
attractive?
No, I
Nobody's
just said
disputing
that she
that.
wasn't
Yeah.
a compelling character. Okay.
Okay,
all right.
just wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to bat with two of us. So.
It does highlight. It does highlight some interesting things about you, though, on not picking up on the story beats being communicated between Chief and Cortana, because I was bored the entire time.
Oh, what he's saying is
Come on, the "I choose you" speech when he comes out of the atmosphere in Halo 2. Come on.
What? I don't even remember that. Like,
Of
I
course
remember
you don't.
no story at all from Halo 1 and 2. Like, literally, I don't remember a single thing.
sounds
Really?
like
From
a-
Halo 1 and 2?
Sounds like
Met-
what he's saying is you lack feelings and you might be a sociopath because you couldn't see the emotions portrayed between the two characters.
You're not wrong. He goes on to say, I'm sure Lambo will have fun with that lot. With that, LOL. Too bad he's not here. Also, what is the group's thoughts on the announcements from Sony on moving Tensile games to PC release?
Don't care.
Tensile.
It says Tensile.
Like
Moving-
tensile strength.
I don't know, but wanting to keep expansions on their hardware to drive consumers to their devices. Frankly, I'm happy to keep waiting to play expansions when they do finally come to PC and save my money. Thanks for everything, Jedi Spartan.
I'm of the same opinion on that. I don't understand console exclusives anymore. I guess I just see PC gaming as the wave of the future.
Yeah. Like I literally don't mind waiting 2 years for a PlayStation game to come to PC. Even
No.
and I even own a
We
PlayStation.
have a story about that, actually. Yeah.
So that's it.
Oh, cool. Thanks for writing in. All right. Let's go into that story. Well, apparently Sony still does not understand PC gamers after the massive success of, what do you call it? Helldivers 2. And for that matter, all their single-player games that have done very well, Days Gone, God of War, The Last of Us, etc.
Really quick,
etc.
Tony, I'm
Yes.
going to let you finish. I bought
What is it?
Helldivers 2 at full market value,
Same here.
and I played it once, and I don't understand how this game works. I don't know where to go.
This is just
I don't-
more evidence that you're old.
I just don't get it, and it frustrates me.
It gets to that age with almost all games, James. I can being
I'm
the
in a
oldest one
ship.
here.
I want to participate. I don't know what the planets mean. I don't know where to go when I want to drop.
Yep. Enthusiastically confused, you would say, right?
Yeah,
Just I like hyped up to do something.
inadvertently.
Yeah.
I'm a smart guy. Oh my gosh, the amount of people that say that before I have to show them
Question
how to open
mark?
a PDF. I'm a smart guy,
I'm a smart guy.
but
But-
I don't understand how to navigate this GD game. Can we play a game of Helldivers together?
I think
After
we should,
this
'cause
show.
I own it as well. So
It scared me.
I do
Yeah, it
not
scared.
play
I do not own it.
It
Buy
scared
it,
me
Jared,
too much
just
to
buy
even
it.
play it. It scared me too much to even get into it and play it. I didn't understand the team up part of it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, and
Freaked
isn't
out.
there like another player that's outside of the team? Or is there? What is the differentiator? I
so.
swear there was like a coordinator.
There's
I don't know.
there's like a D&D boss, like a GM, you know.
Really?
A DM.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah,
become a DM?
He's
Well, it's like
he's the
it's
coder.
it's
He's
the
the
CEO
engineer.
of the company.
Yeah.
he's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, I
He's
thought there was like
he's the one
another
running the whole
person.
campaign. No, he's the one being like,
Yeah.
this is the planet and sector we need to go to, and it's bugs and robots, and
Yeah.
you're the humans trying to fight on two fronts, and he sets.
Is
the
it
campaign.
related to Starship Troopers?
I feel like it's
like a
roughly
straight
or
homage
exactly.
to that. Yeah.
So
Okay.
What is that squeaking noise?
I don't
was that?
understand.
It's James. James is the
I don't
squeaky noise.
understand why, how
I don't understand why.
these
How?
guys out here,
you can just the helicopter.
the helicopter, Batman. I don't. Just keep going. Sorry.
All right. Let's see. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Sony doesn't understand PC gamers because they just got two new CEOs recently. What's his face stepped down, British fella that I can't remember the name of.
British fella.
And the CEO that's in charge of like I can't remember, product software development or something like that. Anyway, his name's Herman Hulst, and he was interviewed the other day and said basically, well, yeah, I mean, we like our PC gamers. We want to make sure that all the service as live service games launch day and date, like we did with Helldivers 2 on PC and PlayStation 5. But our single-player story games, we're going to continue to put a long space in between PlayStation and PC launch because our plan is to convince you to buy a new PlayStation to play the second version of the game, part 2 of the game you played on PC if you started on PC. It's like, no. PC gamers will just wait till you release it on PC.
Yeah.
You're not
like we have graphical standards now. I have
frame rate standards.
I've got graphical standards. Jaren's infected me with that. I'm like, ugh, this is unplayable. I've never said that phrase in my life till I got a PC.
Wow, oh, and you did it. You graduated.
You made it.
I know. Yep.
Ta-da! Yeah, the thing about it is exactly what you said for the PC gaming snobs like us, but also look at who's going to spend $500 to play.
That's what I was doing. I was doing that with Halo for the last 2 consoles.
Well, you didn't let me finish. Who's going to spend $500 to play a game that isn't already greatly invested in either that game or that company? And that was you with Microsoft and Halo. And I can see that, but you guys, people like that, already purchased the console anyway.
Right.
Someone who's only a PC gamer isn't going to go out and buy a PlayStation 5 so they can play Spider-Man 3 sooner. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, Sony underestimates the patience of PC gamers for sure. And I think they're leaving money on the table. By not, if you want to have a buffer, that's fine. 3-6 months, sure, go for it.
But you're just losing money if you don't do it after that.
2 years down the road.
Yeah, you totally lose out on the hype cycle and all the marketing.
Exactly. Yeah. You could still ride that wave a little bit 3 to 6 months later, but not 2 years. No. So, anyway, fools.
So I feel like backwards compatibility is like one of the most valuable features that a console can do, because it only makes their new hardware more valuable. Like, I can play my old games on there and my new games. Like, that's the only thing driving me to do console at this point.
Welcome to PC, though.
For the last, 8 years, 10 years? Like,
welcome to PC, though. It's been backwards compatible for decades.
Yeah, for decades. Like, it's like they were like, oh.
There was never not backwards compatibility.
Yeah. Like, we just have to make this game in x86 architecture.
Or at least not with modern PC, yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, there were some iffy years with the 3D cards in the 90s.
Yeah, 3D graphics card wars in the 90s.
Yep.
But that's long behind us now. Has been for decades, 20 years. Man, we're old. All right.
I'm not old. I'm young.
You're old, James. Just deal with it, man.
We know you've
Look
been
at this
dyeing your hair.
mobility. Look at this. Look at this. Do you think you could do this,
drop
Tony?
his microphone again.
He's
See this?
standing up.
Look at that. He
Look
stood
at-
up and
watch
he's
this.
walked around. He did a
Look at
quarter squat. All
Yeah,
right.
you think you
I
can do
feel
that,
like-
Tony?
I feel like you
I
had a
might
little
be
bit of
able
a
to.
arched posture there. Like, I feel like you had to like.
Yeah, that
like
technique
you were-
was old person technique for sure.
Oh, I'm out of breath.
See?
Oh, I heard everywhere now.
Oh, jeez.
Jaron, you have some Sony news. Let's start off with the PSVR 2 stuff.
Oh yeah, PSVR 2 it was announced by Sony earlier this year, but they finally have given details about the adapter that you will need if you're going to play it on your PC. It's a $60 little box, and you plug in a DisplayPort 1.4 cable into it, USB.
That box inside of another box.
No. You plug the box into your PC.
You plug that box inside of another box.
Anyway, USB connection, and you plug your VR headset into that, and then voila, it works on the PC. However, there are many question marks still there. They say it will work with Steam VR, which is awesome. That's what you would expect, but there hasn't been any word on any other compatibility. Like, there's an Oculus app with many VR games in that app for PC. Most of my games are there, so if it doesn't work with that, it's kind of a non-starter for me. And unfortunately, it won't have many of the PSVR 2 features that are there if you play it on a PS5, such as headset feedback, eye tracking, adaptive triggers, haptic feedback, as well as HDR support. However, I'm not aware of any games that support those on PC anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of a non-issue at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of people complaining about it online, but yeah, there are no VR HDR games out there or foveated. Well, there's foveated rendering, but there isn't eye tracking with foveated rendering on PC.
This is like if people get mad that there's not DualSense goodies when you hook up a PlayStation 5 controller to your PC. It's like there's one game I know of that does it for sure. There might be 2 or 3 more, and they're not even like super popular games either that have a big fan base. So
So are you saying that you don't get all the PSVR 2 features if you don't play it on PS5 because of software hardware compatibility, or just because they've locked it out so that it only works that way if you're using a PS5?
It's unclear. They haven't really said if they're locking it out or it's just because there's nothing on PC that actually supports that anyway.
Well, either way, it's software 100%.
Yeah.
Right.
If they wanted to support it, they could. There's no question
I think I was driving back to that whole trying to push their hardware again.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to Applify it, right? Like Apple wants you to be in their ecosystem, not just for apps and software, but also all their hardware works better together. It just does.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it really applies to this though, because like Jaron said, there's nothing on PC that would take advantage of that stuff anyway.
It is a very compelling option though. It's $550 right now. It's $100 off until June 12th. With their Days of Play sale. It's OLED, 120 hertz. Motion clarity apparently isn't the best compared to Quest 3, but I don't know. It sounds like a pretty cool headset to me. I definitely want to try that out. Hardware-wise, yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely not priced astronomical either. It's really competitive with the Quest 3. In fact, it's cheaper than the Quest 3 right now while it's on sale. So yeah, you know how it goes. Playing games and taking names.
That's I said that's a phrase I always use.
Wow.
Tony.
That's what I
really liked it that time.
Yeah, see? I'm telling you, you just get used to it and then you just stick with it. You just keep driving and never.
It was the delivery, I think.
Exactly. Taking games and playing names.
Or backwards.
That was. I mean, it was it though. Was it? I don't know.
You know. We'll never know. James, how much do you want to bet me about those G2 pens?
Why?
Ooh. He wouldn't bring that back up if he had.
Why?
If he didn't have a winning hand.
Why?
But you should go for it, James.
Why?
I love it when you do.
How much?
No, I don't care.
You don't
care. Why?
You don't care.
Why?
Well, come on. Do you want to bet?
Because I could be wrong. Now I'm trying to think about it.
Keep gaslighting him.
So is that a yes to a bet? Like, we talking like a lunch?
This is inappropriate for the segment. We're talking about video games right now. Okay, unless you're talking about a stylus pen. Okay, move on.
Talking like a lunch.
Okay, we got to move on.
A Slurpee or
this
an
is
energy
a train.
drink. Or
We're trying to keep it going.
Tony just wants to see you, James. It's been so long.
I think it's his bragging rights, maybe. That
I drove past Tony's house the other day.
Of course
That's
you did.
weird because I live at the end of a cul-de-sac and there's no outlet.
Yeah, so what? I went out of my way. I was going to take a picture of your front lawn and then send it to you, but then I thought it would be weird.
It would be. You are 100% correct. But it wouldn't be that weird coming from you. So, there you go.
Totally normal.
The G2 5 is a 0.5 millimeter ball, and the G2 7 is a 0.7 millimeter
That's
ball.
Bigger.
Which is bigger.
That's bigger.
Which is bigger.
Couldn't
So
understand
it means,
what you were saying. I took off my headphones.
I know he took his headphones off, which means the 7 lays down more ink than the 5, just like I
wish
said.
I was that determined to prove people wrong.
No,
Does it feel good to be you right now?
It's a sickness, James.
Does it feel good?
It drives my wife crazy. And I really have to curb it when I'm with her.
Maybe it's a family thing, Jaron. Do you feel that same urge
it's
to
genetic for sure?
Yeah, you feel that urge to.
I need to correct everyone and everything.
I have to.
That's why I'm an accountant.
That's why I have imposter syndrome every time I'm around you guys.
I don't have the luxury of saying it's because I'm an accountant. I'm just a jerk.
How do you feel when you're around Mio, and does it make you feel superior?
Oh, dude, when you call me and ask me about Wi-Fi stuff and putting up on a huge cable and like stuff, I'm just like, boy, I could help him.
Actually, you know what? I think IT correcting people is an IT thing just as much as
We
it is
have
an
to.
accounting thing.
It absolutely is.
Actually,
I have
you know
a
what?
huge God complex when it comes to IT.
Yep, that's my excuse. I'm in IT. It made me this way. I'm not this way, so I went in IT. I'm this way because
think I
IT
like being like
made it this way.
It's nurture, not nature.
Yeah,
we were
that's what it
made.
is.
We
Yep.
were made.
Yep.
We were forged into
Yep.
this.
You taught me this, Dad. You did.
Don't
All
talk
right.
about that. Don't talk about dads. Come on, there you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm right
there
here.
you go. There you go.
Right here, Tony. Does it
haven't
feel
been
good
able
to
to
be
make
you?
I was referring to the figurative IT dad, not like a biological father. Come on.
Which you also don't know. Anyway,
Oh man, he got him.
sorry.
Sick burn again. Sorry, James. This might
It's
come
been
around.
so.
Wow.
It's been so
Owen.
long since you've been here.
That's why he doesn't come around very often anymore.
James.
I
I'm
just hope
sorry.
that someday.
Remember
my
when
dad-
I was the mean one?
When
Not
my dad-
anymore.
James told me never to change. He texted me specifically when I was sending him
told
3 a.m.
me.
apologies. He said never change, and I'm just doing what past James told me to do, which is hurt him. I don't know
James
why.
used to be
He
able to
likes it.
count W's, and all I can do is just turn the L's into and push two of them together.
Make a
That's
dub.
how I make my own
There
W.
you go. There you go.
Life hasn't
right.
gotten better.
Keep
Back to
going.
Back to the gaming. Let's see. Do we want to go over the Ally X specs again?
Let's do keep the Sony stuff going. Sony
Yeah,
State
but-
of Play.
We did that last week.
I finally beat
No,
a
the
game.
State of Play?
No, the Ally specs, Ally X
We
specs.
did talk about those, yeah.
Yeah, it's official though.
This is exactly what we already said.
It's
Can you guys hear my
official, though.
Can you guys hear my dog whining through the cat door at the top of my stairs?
No,
Okay, good.
$800. We didn't say that last week.
we speculated that it was 800, but that is official.
$800, Tony.
There we go.
I was this close to buying it, and my two fingers are close together. But then
You're not gonna do it? Not for $800?
I
come
overcame
on.
that.
You're
I
gonna
think
sell
it's a-
you're gonna sell your current one. It's gonna drop the price to 500 or 400, and then you're gonna do it, Jaron. Listen to me. I sound just like your inner monologue.
If you buy mine, I will buy it.
I'm not buying yours.
He wants
If I'm
an-
gonna do anything,
he
I'm
wants an
gonna
Ally
waste.
X.
Yeah, if I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna
But
go
I'd
into
give
debt.
you a good deal.
I'm gonna mine some Raven coin and buy LAX.
Whoa, he's gone crazy.
He's gone mad with power.
Mad. I'll plug this bad boy in that's sitting under my desk here that's been unplugged for months.
And in 3 years, he'll have
And
enough
in-
to buy
no,
an
okay.
Ally X.
Way too optimistic.
Oh,
It's more
sorry.
like 7,
6 years,
7
7.
years.
Okay.
7 years.
Sony State of Play news. I'm just gonna kick it off by saying it was pretty disappointing.
No. Yes and no.
There was
No.
a couple of bright spots, but more than anything, it was just like meh. Especially when they opened up with Concord. That looks like a huge waste of time.
Yeah, team-based shooter. It's just like an Overwatch clone mixed with Guardians of the Galaxy for some reason.
Yeah, just meh.
And the response was overwhelmingly bad online
Yeah.
about that. So I feel kind of bad for that team.
I do feel a little bit bad for the team as well, especially if they are really excited about this game. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like you and I were having a conversation earlier in the week. And maybe this is an age thing as well. I just don't care about team-based competitive shooters or anything really. I like story-based games. I like cooperative.
I like team-based multiplayer on Halo.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
There you go.
okay.
Team base, yeah.
That's different because Halo actually just lets us play team deathmatch when we want to, old school style.
Yeah.
All this like
Yeah.
objective based stuff is just
And like learning different moves from different characters. Just give me
Yeah.
a gun already.
exactly.
God of
We're
War
so old.
Ragnarok is coming to PC. Huzzah!
I'm getting that again for sure. I'll buy that twice. You
I'll buy
betcha.
that for the first
See,
time.
And speaking of what we were talking about before, that's me. I've been waiting for this. Like here I am.
Did you play? You played the first
have.
one?
No, I've been waiting for this one to
We'll
come
play
out.
the first one.
Oh, play the first one, dude.
Yeah,
It's-
it's fantastic, and it's a continuation of
it's
the
a
first
continuation.
story.
It's a straight. I mean, it picks
Yeah.
up right after the end of the first one.
You have to play the first one.
It's
Anyway,
an outstanding game.
coming out September 19th. Astrobot. This is the
This
cool
was
one,
the-
I thought. Astrobot is coming to a full PS5 game near you.
What?
Took a minute to
so-
get that one out.
Yes. Astro's Playroom, which came default on PS5, as well as Astrobot Rescue Mission, which
as a pack-in game. Do you guys remember pack-in games?
You're right. They came with the thing
with the system.
Yeah.
Anyway, Astrobot is getting its own full-fledged game coming out September 6th. Looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'd pay full price for this because, I mean, I'm a platformer fan, but I'm not a huge platformer fan.
Well, supposedly, according to Digital Foundry's Direct this week, it's going to have 80 levels.
That's quite big.
Astro can transform into PlayStation's most famous characters: Kratos, Aloy, and Nathan Drake.
Oh wow! I'm buying this
Full price.
day
He's
one.
done. That's it.
Full price.
And even turn into a PlayStation 5 console.
Yeah, they're going to do the same
What's
kind of
the
thing
premise
they did.
of this game? Is it just a
So if you played the, I know you didn't because you.
I don't have a PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you played the pack-in game, it was just this. It was basically a long tech demo to show off how cool the DualSense controller can be when it's programmed correctly for. But it was really good platforming, Mario 64 style gameplay. And the only unfortunate part was it was short. But what they do that's a lot of fun is they have all of these different Sony Easter eggs from hardware from the past, all their different game characters. They're tucked away in different areas with these little Astrobots cosplaying as them and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Looks cool. If it reviews like extremely well, maybe I'll go in at a higher price.
How much are they gonna pay? How much?
I'll bet it's a $70 game. That's what they seem to be charging for.
Probably.
It might be a $60 game, but I'd say safe bet would be 70.
Marvel Rivals is coming to PS5 and Xbox. That's another team-based hero shooter.
See, that's the thing. Not even the Marvel's name can get me excited for this.
Yeah. If Magneto wore his awesome purple suit from the X-Men 97, I would be in day one.
That suit's not awesome.
Oh, no, it's the best. It is the best. Giant M on his chest.
I can't get behind the opera gloves.
Flowing gray hair. Oh, man, it's fantastic.
What's your favorite
made stuff wiggle.
Never mind.
Silent Hill 2 is coming to PS5 on October 8th. There's a new trailer, Dynasty Warriors Returns, coming to PS5 in 2025, as well as Xbox and Windows PC.
See what I said? Remember what I sent you when I saw that? Oh, joy, another Dynasty Warriors game.
Yeah. Until Dawn Remastered. It comes to PS5 and Windows PC this fall. And that's really everything that kind of interested me. Alien Rogue Incursion is an intense single-player action horror game. That's coming to PSVR 2. Yeah, that's a strong nope for me.
Too scary for Jaren.
Yeah.
I do enjoy hearing about you playing those games on VR, though. Like, they're kind of my favorite stories of you getting scared of head crabs.
If you buy me a PSVR 2, I will buy this game.
Okay.
Deal.
No, I didn't say I would. I just said okay.
Okay.
Oh, he got you so good.
If I do that, I will. Then
The onus is just on Owen now to buy a PSVR 2. If he doesn't,
Which will never happen.
He's not out anything.
No.
He's not contractually obligated to buy the PSVR 2.
No.
Just
Jaren's the only one.
if he
Jaren's
does,
the only one, yeah.
then you'll buy the game.
Yeah. I don't even have to give it. I don't have to give it to him.
Actually, I
I'll
don't
buy
know
it.
if
And then
I
you just
would
have to buy the
actually
game.
like that. Ugh.
If you thought head crabs were scary, just wait for the
I know. That'd be
the little alien babies jump on your face.
face huggers. No way.
Face huggers. That's yeah. All right, so there's that. Quick update on Destiny, the last light. No, final form. I can't remember what they're calling these things these
The
days.
final shape.
Final shape. I was close. That released this week, and if you play it on Steam, well, you better delete some games if you want this full install. The full Destiny 2 install now, if you want to have all the DLCs and the latest expansion on there, is 300 gigabytes of space.
Good,
What
as it should
what
be.
did Call of Duty come in at? Was it close to that? Was it? I thought it was
No.
150.
Call of Duty, yeah, it was around.
And we were like,
150.
150. Wow.
And I think it was 200 if you also had the campaign installed.
Yeah.
The multiplayer
Holy-
and the
but
campaign and Warzone. This is just Destiny 2 and its expansions. 300 gigabytes of space to install this. But the weirdest part about it is, and Jaren found this out while we were talking about it, that's only on the Steam version. It's less on Epic, and even
half the size on Windows Store.
Why?
yeah, on the Windows
Why?
Store. It doesn't make. I have no idea.
They
Well, 'cause
still play
Windows
on
makes
PC,
everything
right?
smaller.
They still play on PC.
Yeah, this
right?
is the PC versions on other
So-
stores.
Maybe
I don't know.
there's-
That's
maybe
just
they're
what they had the information as.
Weird.
Very weird. Okay, let's talk about. This is the weirdest thing I've seen lately for sure, and I've seen a lot of weird things lately. Roblox and IKEA are making a team up.
A real life job team up, making real US dollars to the tune of 18 something dollars an hour. You can be Roblox and IKEA are making a partnership to offering players the chance to snag actual jobs inside IKEA, and they'll be able to earn real money during paid shifts by helping customers navigate the virtual version of an IKEA store.
What?
So IKEA is making a, what do they call them?
Gutenschlagen.
They're not called games on Roblox. They're called
Modules.
no
Things.
experiences. Is I think what they call them.
So dumb.
They call them experiences, and so IKEA is doing that, and then they can actually hire. You can be hired to work in that store as a paid shift, logging in and going to the store and helping people go around the virtual IKEA. And
Does any of the things here have physics? Could you mess the store up and make a
Right?
mess?
like I don't know. I mean, if it follows a Roblox idea, then yeah, you can. You could just go in there and like kick over the shelves.
Just
But
like I
anyways.
do in a regular IKEA.
Exactly. Or you could find. Have you ever crawled out from under a shelf and be like, I found a new shortcut, leads to the
guys.
cafeteria?
I found a new way to the
You
cafeteria.
remember how? Yeah, you know how they have the shortcuts between departments, and you have to kind of know them. Like otherwise, you just have to follow the trail and go through every department.
The longest trail ever.
I think that would be the funniest thing ever if you like crawled out from under some sort of like display and been like, "Oh, I just came to the cafeteria." Like,
Or don't go in that one.
or like, oh, this is the shortcut to the dings and dents and returns area.
Yeah,
they
there you
don't
go.
publicize this one very much, but they're it's called the Coworker Game, and they're going to be interviewing for positions. I think they said
Wow.
It's like the 14th through the 17th
yeah,
this
it's
month or something like that.
June 14th through the 17th or something.
18th.
18th, and yeah, so but it is limited to some countries. You have to be applicants must be located in the United Kingdom or the Republic of Ireland to be considered for the job.
Only the UK, huh?
Yeah, so I was gonna
Alright.
say, hey, Cody over there across the pond sounds
Chris.
like Chris Cushley. Dang it.
You were close.
I was so glad they both start with a letter. So
That's right.
But yeah, there you go. Sounds like an opportunity. You could side gig if you're at home and you got a few hours to help people wander through a virtual IKEA in Roblox, which I just don't get the draw of Roblox because it's.
Am I hearing a dog in the background?
Oh,
I
yeah, we
told
can
you.
Definitely.
I
Hear your
told
dog
you.
now.
What is that
Yeah.
sound?
So we have a cat door that comes down the basement because we moved our litter robot down there, and she really wants to come down here, and she's got her big fat mastiff head poking through the cat door, whining at me right now, and I'm gonna have to let her down here just so she'll be quiet. Anyway, so I'll do that right after I tell you that's all for this story. There you go.
All right.
Can I talk about how I finally beat a game?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
You
I've
can
been
do it
playing
now.
the game.
Oh.
So I was at Ragnar in Zion's National Park, and there is no
Oh, you
internet down there.
didn't die.
No, I didn't.
And
I
he's back.
actually.
Look at that.
It's going to enable so much bad behavior for me because I completed the Ragnar. Last year, I think I jogged 7 miles every other day for 3 to 4 months leading up to it. So I felt great. But this year I ran twice.
Twice.
Total. And it was like several months apart from each other. I literally thought I was going to die. I took a bunch of lidocaine, a bunch of ibuprofen, a little bit of morphine, and like when I was down there, I got there really, really early because last year, I don't know if you guys are like me. I don't like being the guy that shows up when everybody else does, especially to something that like is first come, first serve when it comes to like picking your camp spot and all that stuff. So I'm like, whatever, I'm going to arrive an hour before it's supposed to open. I'm just going to sneak in. I'm going to pick a good spot. And that's what I did. So I lied. I arrived like 3 hours early. So when I got there, I had a lot of time to burn because there's no internet down there. And so I sat there with my Steam Deck and went through my backlog, which I downloaded a bunch of games before. There was a game I had never played before called Planet Crafters. It had everything in a game that I like, which is like automation, world evolution, base building, all of that stuff. And I opened it up and started playing it, and like, I was like, man, was this like a one-man dev team? Like whatever. It felt like very, very like low tech.
Might have been,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, and come to find out, as I'm playing it, it's just you do stuff to terraform the planet, and there's goals that you hit. It's just like the first one's to turn the sky blue, and then you develop clouds in the sky, and like so on and so forth. And it's cool because like the game changes the more you play it. And man, it got to the point where I could not put the game down. It's like, oh, I gotta get this beehive in there to help,
I need
build the insects. Yeah, I got to literally see like evolution like right in front of my eyes, and I'm like, man, I think I have a god complex. But yeah, Planet Crafters, I'd give it a solid like 7 out of 10. Truth be told, like it was good,
Nice.
It hooked me in, and yeah, it took me about 60-ish hours to beat, give or take.
All
But it's
right.
fun. There's definitely improvements that they can have in the game. They came out with the 1.0 version while I was playing it, and it was good.
Sweet.
Says James.
Look at you gaming. Look
I
at
did
that.
it.
All right, Jaron, wow us with the Computex news that you said was so good.
Well, we already covered Ally X, but the Zotac Zone is official as of like a couple hours ago. This is Zotac's version of a Steam Deck / Ally Windows PC,
handheld PC.
handheld
This is all the
PC.
rage.
Yep.
This is all the rage now. Everybody's putting
Oh,
it out.
totally.
Everyone's jumping on this bandwagon.
This one's interesting. It has a lot of features that is normally not present in a Windows handheld. It has dual trackpads like a Steam Deck below the joysticks. The joysticks are symmetrical like a PlayStation controller.
Not offset.
Yeah.
Weird.
It has a 120 hertz OLED screen, which sounds amazing, but it doesn't have VRR, so Windows doesn't have the best tools to cap your frame rate like the Steam Deck. So
Exactly.
I'm not exactly happy with that decision. It has the latest AMD chip in there. It's like the 8840U.
Yeah.
Really no performance difference though, like with the Z1E, which is in the ROG Ally or anything like that.
And the Legion.
And the Legion. It does have the 7500 megatransfer per second memory, so that's great. It has a Hall effect, joysticks, and 2-stage adjustable triggers. Has the joysticks can also be tweaked, their tension. So a lot of cool stuff in here. The problem is the battery is pretty small, 48.5 watt hours. The new Ally X is 80.
Yep.
Steam Deck OLED, which is a lot more power efficient, is 50, I believe.
Yep.
So your battery life's going to be trash.
Especially
costs
running
$8.
at full tilt.
Yeah, but a lot of interesting features. $800, the Zotac Zone. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a mistake to release any handheld PCs that don't either have VRR or a really good way to adjust the frame rate cap like the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, you're competing in a market of people that watch their specs. Like if this was just a Switch, whatever, they're gonna
Yeah,
buy the Switch
exactly.
for Nintendo games. But you can play PC games on so many different versions now. Like these are people that are looking at those specs as a difference. And if you don't come to that with like frame rate and display as table stakes, I feel like you're just putting yourself in a position to compete with like price. That's it. Like,
Yep.
oh, we can do it cheaper. It's just a race to the bottom of who
well,
can
and
do it cheapest.
the other thing that they should have done too, in my opinion, is more than 16 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah.
I think that's a missed opportunity this late, coming to the game this late and not
Yeah.
offering more RAM than the units that have been out for over a year or a year
Yeah.
or so. That's a mistake too. Well, at least they didn't go with an Intel chip.
Yeah. MSI with the Claw was
Looking at
released
you.
like 3 months ago. They just announced a new version today.
Isn't that crazy?
So sorry, all you 2 people that bought the original.
What's the
With an
difference
Intel
with the
chip?
new one?
New Intel, like new everything. Completely overhauled MSI Claw.
Really?
Yeah.
What chip? So it uses. What's Intel's newest chip though? The Lunar Lake stuff? Is that what
Yeah.
it's using? Oh,
Lunar
okay.
Lake. It's called the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. It has an 80 watt-hour battery, which
Well, that's
is
good at least.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Has a larger 8-inch screen, which is also awesome. A second USB-C port with Thunderbolt 4, similar to the Ally.
LIX.
Yep. So,
But still 16 gigs of RAM.
doesn't specify the RAM, but it is Intel's Lunar Lake, which is 50% more GPU performance than Meteor Lake and less power for the same performance. So it's a
Oh, that's good at least.
huge
Yeah.
upgrade over the original Claw.
I'd be so pissed if I bought one of
Oh,
the claws.
yeah.
I feel like,
Holy.
and I feel like all these companies had things in the pipeline once they saw the popularity of the Steam Deck, and a few companies just beat everybody to market. But they were like, "Well, we put all this work into it. We might as well just see if there's any idiots that'll buy it."
Yeah.
You know, like,
Then 3 months later, announce the new one.
and they're like, "It was just a placeholder. Here's the real one." So
That's crazy. Yeah, it's been interesting to see. You know what? I think we forgot to touch on the Intel CPU announcements in Help Desk. But Lunar Lake was the big one they talked about, and it's their mobile stuff. Like you said, it's got 50% more graphical capability, but they did this really weird thing that they say it's justified in the performance, but they now have your performance cores and your E-cores. They hacked it down to 4 performance cores and 4 or 6 efficiency cores. I can't remember for sure, but they removed hyperthreading. These
Really?
Yep, they do not do hyperthreading in the Lunar Lake CPUs now.
Wow.
They say
are they ARM? They're not ARM architecture.
no,
though.
it's still x86, and they're saying
People don't
works,
use it.
It works better on the majority of workloads, and the hyperthreading stuff just didn't add enough to make it worth having. And
So instead of making hyper-threading better,
yeah, they just took it out.
took it out.
And not only did they just disable it in this chip, they actually physically removed the silicon on there that handled the hyper-threading management. So it's not even an option that they could turn it on later.
Is this
It
so they
is-
could do more efficiency cores or like other core? Like what's the
They just said that
reasoning?
they said that the average use case ran better on cores without hyper-threading. And I'm just like, okay,
taking a feature away like that
yeah, I don't know.
undercuts a base of their
did- Luckily, they said the desktops will still have hyper-threading.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say that's where you would need it more.
and you can see that they've done this with the last mobile chip stuff that the Ultra stuff that they announced. They brought out about 6 months ago. I feel like all Intel's doing is cutting down their CPUs to make them more battery efficient.
Yeah.
They're not really actually improving the capability of them very much, if at all. They're just hacking them down to try and compete with ARM on battery life. Mm-hmm. So,
I did read an article about that too, where Microsoft's like they got to be pretty sad that they don't have a mobile phone anymore because of now the new Intel ARM stuff and Windows on ARM. And
yeah, if that really starts to take off, they're definitely going to be kicking themselves for not at least hanging on to.
I'm excited for
Windows
Intel's new
Phone.
ARM stuff. I'm just not super excited about Windows' new ARM
You mean
stuff.
Qualcomm's new ARM stuff?
Yeah, Qualcomm's new
Yeah.
ARM stuff, like their Snapdragon X and all that. But the recall stuff, not a huge fan of the Windows optimization on their new tablets and stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
Even
All right.
wait for the data breach.
The inevitable. Jaron, you wanted to also talk about your tinkering with RetroArch.
Let's say that for another week.
Save that for another week? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you want
Let's
to talk
talk
about
about the
ModRetro?
ModRetro, yeah. This
Look who's
thing
back.
looks neat. Palmer Lucky, he's
Palmer
back.
Lucky's back.
Yes. He is releasing a FPGA-based Game Boy and Game Boy Color remake, pretty much. It's called the Chromatic. It's got an ultra bright screen, which he...
As you get older, you need that. I get it.
1,000 nits of brightness.
It's a flashlight, too.
Seriously.
You can easily use it outside in the day. I guess you really wanted that Game Boy reflective screen type quality, but with modern backlighting. Who knows? It's like, I think it's a magnesium case.
Magnesium cased sapphire crystal screen. That's like what they use on watch faces.
Yeah.
That's
It might not be
sweet.
the same quality of sapphire, but it's the same
he's
material.
So he's trying to take a chunk out of the old screen protector business.
It's a
right.
pixel perfect IPS screen.
So when
Same size, resolution, and pixel structure as the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
That's what I was going to say. When I hear that, I think this is going to be a low-res screen.
It is.
It is.
It only plays Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. And it doesn't have like an SD slot, so you have to own the game or get like a cart with a SD slot in it.
Did not
with
put
ROMs.
an easy way to do ROMs on there. Interesting.
Yes. This is purely
This is just a passion
enthusiast
project.
passion project type of thing. Battery life, you can use AA batteries for it, or you can buy rechargeable batteries and charge over USB-C.
Just like the old days.
Supposedly, the color accuracy is much better than the analog pocket. It's a lot more accurate compared to what it was originally back then. And shockingly, the price is only $200. And Palmer Luckey, it sounds like he's funding this. He says that he's only going to make a certain amount because he can't support this venture long term due to the costs.
So he might even be selling them at a loss.
It sounds like he's selling them at a loss.
Just a hobby, just a pet project.
Yeah, at the very most, they're break even.
Yeah.
Well, I found in an article I read about this, I found out, I didn't know this, before Palmer Luckey got into VR and started Oculus, when he was younger, he was way, way into modding Game Boys. And so this is basically just, he took his old hobby way to the next level, now that he's got the money to play around with it like that. It's pretty crazy. Interesting stuff.
Yep. Called the ModRetro. If you're interested, better to get it now than when it stops being produced.
It's available for pre-order now, right?
Yeah. It's a neat device. If I were into Game Boy games, I would definitely be picking this up for $200.
A sapphire glass and all that, that's something, and high nits, like I'm like, hey, put that in the handhelds we were just talking about, and then you got me. It's got make it playable outside.
Quality stuff right there.
I don't know, because like this you could fit in your pocket, and so you'd want a strong screen on it. But those giant handhelds, I'm leaving it in a case. I don't need sapphire glass on those.
That's true.
Until you have your kids want to play it.
So
you never let your kids touch your game.
No, I do. My son plays it like every day.
I'm a screen protector, freaking anal retentive fanatic. All of my stuff has screen protectors on it, and I never end up freaking anything happen to them anyway. But I'm still just like, new Switch, got to put a screen protector on that game.
That'll be a screen
ROG
protector.
Ally, got to put a screen protector on that.
Yeah, me too. Palmer Luckey said, none of it makes any business sense at all.
I love that he's upfront about that.
Just a little nostalgia project, like throwing it back.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah,
but they're going to be selling their own chromatic cartridges with new games on it. All physical re-releases and remasters of classic Game Boy titles, entirely new IP from incredible indie developers, first-time launches of Game Boy games that were canceled before release, and even some titles that were canceled before the public ever found out about them.
Did you
How
see
is
that?
Nintendo not chomping off their head?
No. He's licensing it all. Did you see that it will have a pack-in game, Tetris, just like the original Game Boy?
Oh yeah.
And it will be
That's sweet.
It will be the classic Tetris, as well as it'll have second Tetris game on there by modders and stuff that he's hired to do some Tetris stuff.
Oh, dang. Now I kind of want one of these.
Do you see what the price
it's cool.
is? What's the pre-order price?
$200.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. $200. That's not bad.
So,
No, it's not bad at all.
all right. Well, there you go. Anything you want to add, James?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like we did good, finished strong. I have a strong team. Everybody strong.
Special teams, special plays,
Special
players. Tuesday.
Win.
You know, James, we couldn't do it
Hello,
without
brother.
I know. You're welcome. I mean, first and foremost, for the tinnitus that you don't have to experience after the show, just win.
You're the spark that lights the fire that brings this podcast to people's ears.
That's what he's trying to say right there, and I think you nailed it, Jaron.
Winning.
That's right. Playing games and taking names.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's so
see
great,
how
Tony.
Wait a second. Now I do take issue with that, Jaron. That comment right there. That's so great, Tony.
What?
Seems
You
to be
made it up.
It's mine.
It's Tony's.
We all win.
You think
Thank you.
justice bends to the arc of justice? Time,
What?
whatever.
Justice bends to the arc of justice.
That's right, it does.
I'm just saying. Someday
Well,
people will know, Tony.
All I
that
got to
was
say, Owen, is the wheel wills as the wheel wills.
That's more accurate.
The wheel.
The
What is
arc
it?
of the arc of justice is long, or
Justice bends to the arc of justice.
There you go.
Remember it.
All right, that is the end of this
You heard it
episode.
here.
Thank you for joining us. Before we go, a big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/helpdeskarcade. If you donate $6 a month or more to this silly little podcast, you get a shout out on the air, which Jaron has for us right now.
Thank you to David Broshinsky, Connor Keesall, and Wiffleball Tony. Thank you. Jason Eatman, Huevos Verdes con Jamon, Juan Ramon. Lambo is 3.6 Rontogens. Andy Bird. Be the 8-year-old. Michael Shane. Be it Tony the Home Theater Geek. Jeremy, no name, no color.
waiting for meatballs.
Keslow, Eric Simon, Eric Cruz, The In-Between rating +5, Matt Nelson, Harry Patch, Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd.
Faulkner.
Shut up. The problem with society is there are no mobile.
You know what the
molehills.
problem with society is?
The problem with sobriety is the meat balls are tasty.
That can't be mountain climbed over. Ryan M. and Adam Hecht. Thank you.
Okay. You made it,
Say-
Jaron. You did it.
Yeah, I did.
Let me just say the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice.
What?
That's
The arc of what?
The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends
okay.
toward justice. That's the quote that I butchered by Martin Luther King, but
There
just
you
means
go.
someday people will know. Taking names and gaming tames or whatever.
Did I get that
Anyway.
Wheel of Time quote right? Is it
The wheel wills
as the
will.
As the wheel wills.
Yeah, it's just
No.
I
The
know.
wheel
I swear
wills
it's a
as the
little
wheel.
different.
What is it?
The wheel-
Boy, we are just messing up these
wants the
catch-
will wants.
phrases all over the place.
The wheel.
The wheel wills as the wheel.
There it is.
wills.
Sobriety.
the
meatballs.
wheel
Sobriety
the will-
and the meatballs
Sometimes
the wheel weaves
bends
as
to the arc
wheel-
of justice.
Yeah.
Turkey Burger
Weaves.
turns into Matt Madlock.
That's
Thank
what it
you
was.
very
The
much
wheel
and good
we-
night.
The wheel
wheel?
weaves as the wheel wills.
Are we still
that's
recording?
right.
Is this part of the show?
Yep.
Do we have
Yeah.
to listen?
The
Okay.
show's
This
over
is-
now.
This is professional podcasting.
It's all done. Thanks for listening. Let's get some music going. And what kind of you got a special gem of a saying for us today, Owen, or are we going out on,
I got
on
something.
our classic?
I got
Well,
something.
I have nothing else but the classic.
Great games. Planet Crafter.
We hope you care.